Our next stop is the beautiful southeastern corner of Spain's city of Cartagena. It's got a fascinating history that dates back well over 2 millennia, and it's very unique here in Spain, with it having been occupied by many of the great civilizations throughout time, which is reflected in many of the archaeological sites and monuments that you'll find in and around the city. It was founded by the Carthaginians around 220 BC, but it didn't last long. The city was captured by the Romans in 209 BC during the Second Punic Wars, and the city boomed during the Roman period. It's home to one of the best preserved Roman theatres in Spain, and the second largest in the Iberian Peninsula. Cartagena's Roman theatre was built as an entertainment venue in the 1st century BC, when Rome was at the height of its powers. This theatre was one of the most beautiful in all of Spain, and at its peak, it would house about 7,000 spectators looking on the various events and shows that were staged here. Now, unfortunately, over the centuries, it became less important, and bit by bit, it actually got buried. People were stealing components of this theatre to use in the building of other structures that eventually went on top, and it was completely buried and lost for nearly 1,600 years. That was until 1988, when it was rediscovered for all the world to see. From the top of the theatre, you can take in the fantastic views of the stage. You're also allowed to walk across the stage to get a feel for how many people would have been watching the shows from their seats. Oh, solo mio. The amphitheatre is home to the Roman Theatre Museum, which helps you better understand the history unearthed in this amazing place. You can see statues, columns and earthenware from around the excavation site. It's not all ancient architecture here as well. You'll find some wonderful Spanish modernist architecture and then 18th century Art Nouveau like this street. It's absolutely glorious. The 100-year-old town hall, located in the centre of the plaza, is something you should see. You can go inside to admire the sweeping marble staircase. It's been restored well, but if you take a closer look, you'll see bullet holes on the outside of the building, a poignant reminder of the turmoil this country went through with the Civil War. Built between 1900 and 1907, the building is inspired by French architecture. As you can see, it's cladded on the outside with marble, which is actually mined from nearby Almeria. It's a very famous export here, the second most important industry. Now, the building itself is incredibly ornate with so many decorative features, and the domes atop, well, they're coated in zinc. And this whole building was basically the replacement for the old town hall during a time when mining was at its peak here. Calimere is a ravine-like pedestrian street, paved with distinctive blue marble tiles, linking Cartagena's town hall with the Plaza de San Sebastian. It's a typical Spanish paseo where families and couples will take a stroll together or meet friends. By day, it is the perfect place to enjoy a coffee, people watch and maybe do a little bit of shopping, but by night this place comes to life with restaurants overflowing onto the streets and people enjoying tapas and great Spanish wine and beer. It's a great place to explore.